Hey Kingsman, welcome back to the battlefield. Today we have a 4v4, a Prussia-Saxony versus France and Spanish France and Rheinbund. So this will be a 4v4 set in by Fridas. Has several really good players in it, so I'm really excited to bring this one to you today. I rarely see Prussia win. So I'm really hopeful that they will pull something off today because, boy, Prussia needs a break in the battles. I mean, granted, the last video I did, they did win, so there's a streak of winning recently. So we can hopefully see them win. Saxony, of course, is going to be bringing some excellent cavalry. That's kind of their specialty, and since there's two Saxony, I kind of have some confidence they can pull this together. They're bringing Chevaliers. Actually, a lot of Prince Clemens and Johann Chevaliers. These Cuirassiers are going to be super crucial in this battle coming up here. Infantry, not as much. Their infantry are not going to, I don't know the quality of this Spanish Jean-Baptiste army, but I know that, oh yeah, also Bavaria, my apologies. It's not two French, it's one Bavarian, one Spanish, one French, Lons, the Brave, and then Rheinbund, I don't know where their general is, but that is what's on this battlefield today. Looking at the map, guys, it is kind of a gentle slope in the middle. France does have the LOC at this moment. I think someone was firing some artillery. And actually, it's not a slope, sorry, it's a valley with hills on either side. Yep. Looks like the Saxons getting up on this hill with their horse artillery and infantry. It's very cool. That's why you have to zoom in sometimes, even when you're actually playing, because you gotta see your terrain. You gotta see where your artillery is, where infantry is. On the far side, looks like Bavaria is coming out of the woodwork, lack of a better expression, with some of their cavalry, dragoons, cuirassiers. So everyone's bringing about the same comps when it comes to cavalry. Of course, you have a couple, lakes. This one-pointer, there's a four-pointer and then two one-pointers. It looks like Prussia is trying to take this one-pointer because France has the other one on the left side, but Saxony, or Bavaria, is definitely very close with their infantry, and Prussia's infantry is nowhere in sight. So Prussia and Saxony are going to have a problem when it comes to trying to make a push. They're going to have to be the ones to attack because the LOCs are an advantage for the French. Now, there's some artillery coming down. I'm not sure. Oh, it's going over here and hitting some of these Chevaliers. So I think Prussia was trying to rush up something to see if they could take up the artillery. No. Excuse me. Not really working out for them. There's a bunch of infantry here for Lons, Rheinbund's 6-pounders. Ooh, man, that is a nasty looking 3-gun 6-pounder. So, oh, we have some cav fighting over here. Gosh, we have to run back and forth. Prussia and Bavaria clashing here. Some Ulan went against some Hussars. Bavaria broke, but they're going to send in more of their Garde du Corps and break the Prussian Hussars. And then, of course, Bavaria is going to make their push. They have, like I said, they have the advantage right now. They just got to take this LOC. Prussia may be able to use this high ground, although you can see they are not close. In fact, I don't think they're actually going to go for it. I think they're all going to stick together, not separate themselves, and go for the center. We're starting to see Spain. I'm starting to call them Spain. I know they're not actually truly Spain. They're kind of Spain, but, you have Spain, France, and Rheinbund forming up together, Spain in the center and Bavaria on the flank. Now, I think because Bavaria is on the flank, that is why Prussia and Saxony are moving all their forces together, because they can now take on 2, maybe 3 with all 4 of their factions and have a little better odds. That's really smart of them. Bavaria, I guess, thinks that the cavalry means there's a Prussian army here. And also, this Prussian army can shift to fight against Bavaria if needed. It's kind of exciting when you don't see someone who brought a cav corps, which means a lot more infantry on the battlefield, which means more line battles, and you know how we love line battles. Horse artillery opening up fire on that hill. Saxony's not really advancing at this time. They're probably waiting for their ally to come up. And Yeah, this battle may take a little bit. The Cav engagement, I am going to assume, is going to be massive, just because of the sheer weight of the Cav being brought by this side at least. France and the other side's going to bring in some decent Cav too. Look at these cuirassiers just rolling up, artillery up on the hill. That's an excellent position for artillery. If you get attacked, you have a place where it's difficult for Cav to get to you, I think. I don't know if they can get up through here. I think they can get up through here. On maybe like right here and right here, but it's very limited. So that's a really good position. If France attacks them, they are going to be able to hold very well. You can see the rest of the infantry now. Saxony moving up over here. Prussia's infantry over here. What? Oh my goodness. Prussia lost their general. What an unlucky shot. I don't honestly prefer general sniping. Maybe they're just going for Cav, but I don't think they could see anything else. These guys are all hidden. So they were probably shooting for the general. That is very sad. But now it looks like... So Prussia looks like they're shifting everything this direction. This Prussia 10. This Prussia 8. Well, they're both 8s, I guess. Looks like they're going to use their Cav. And I apologize, guys. I keep yawning. I mean, it's 5 o'clock in the morning. Only way I can record on work days is waking up this early, so sacrifices are made, but you'll have to endure me yawning a little bit. So maybe they're going to screen with their Cav and have Prussia support the flank, and then the rest of Saxony and Prussia is actually going to push over here. Now Saxony is shifting their cuirassiers, chevaliers, as well as Prussia shifting over some lighter hussars. Because I think Rheinbund is over here now. And I love these maps because of how big they are. You think this would be the end of the map. But it's not. There's a whole other field over here. Using a road, maybe Saxony could push up really fast. Take on these two factions with his allies. Bavaria maybe is going to push for this house. And I don't see Spain at all. I'm assuming they're going for this one-pointer. So what the Prussian coalition is going to have to do is they are going to have to push for this one-pointer and then just go to this one-pointer. So I'm probably going to fast forward because it's just so much mobilizing still. And we do not want to just waste a ton of time just watching them march back and forth. Okay guys, so a little update. You can see the general movement of this Prussian Saxon army shifting over this way. They are using their Cav to kind of try to screen their army. They don't want them to know the army's coming until, you know, it's too late, which means you're going to really have to use your Cav well. And if they can screen well, I'd be very excited to be able to show an excellent example of a screen. Very helpful actually in the battle. Also, Prussia over here is advancing towards Spain. Maybe. They just started moving up even a little more. They did reveal some of this French army sitting here, scouting them out. I don't know where the French Cav is, but Rheinbund's probably shifting up a ton of their Cav. What's funny is just Saxon Cav here for Rheinbund. So, countrymen fighting each other most likely at some point. But you see they are definitely going to use this road, move down as fast as possible. They are not a very fast moving army. Maybe L3s is the average. But if they can move fast enough to take on France, alienate them from Spain and Bavaria, they will be doing very well. Now, the French do have some artillery set up on the hills, some 12-pounders. That is going to be a problem when their line battle does start. Looks like they actually were trying to go for the general. But look at all this cav that's just going to screen. Reinbund is going to be very passive. They don't even know. I mean, they see the skirmishers, but they don't even know how many infantry are moving down this road. Oh, look at this. We have some Saxon cav moving in. I would not go for the back here. Unless you really think you're able to route a ton of Saxon infantry. That may be something you should have waited till the artillery was free. Because that's a mass that probably is you're gonna struggle to break with lancers. And now they know about your Ulanen. Looks like actually Prussia and Spain are fighting. Prussia may have a tough time here. Prussia's gonna rush over more hussars as their hussars were rushing. Yeah, plenty of hussars rushing over, so they could possibly just destroy 2 enemy cavalry. The real fight, though, guys, is going to be over here, where France is kind of on their own at the moment. Now their cav is getting toasted by artillery. But they are moving up, guys. This is going to be huge if they can pull this off. This is going to be huge. Now we see that France Chester-Savals are driving back 3 different hussars, but they are very badly bloodied. Still, just shows superior cavalry for France, because they just drove back 3 units. Some of them did come back, at least, but I don't really cares that much about that, right? It's like Saxony did drive out the Rheinbund cav, but here we go. Sounds like, oh my goodness, Prussia going in with their cuirassiers against Rheinbund. Saxony did lose some of their chevaliers already, but Rheinbund does not have the cav here to really deal with this. France trying to move up their infantry maybe to support this cav engagement. They have to win this cav engagement if they want to be able to win the infantry engagement. Now, some dragoons pushing up for France, but the heavies that the Prussians and Saxony are bringing is bad. Now, they did form square, but here comes infantry rushing up. I'm assuming they're going to try to bayonet charge the square. They're going to try to keep them in square formation long enough for the army to push up here. And no, they're going to start falling back here. The cav's going to start falling back as France is going to start pushing up all of their cav. Prussia did push up infantry of their own, and now France is in a pickle. France all of a sudden has realized that they are being attacked by maybe 2 or 3 different factions at once. This French infantry is in square formation still. They are getting volleyed. You can see kind of shot to pieces here. Squares in a messy formation here. Now they're going to form up, and, well, the problem is these guys are now at the mercy of the cavalry, the masses of cav here. Rheinbund lost their cuirassiers. They may come back here. They're very tired and just broken, and now the LOC is looking like it's going to be falling into Prussian hands, possibly. Now we have some chevaliers, so Prussia's going to be moving the dragoons back. But yeah, France is in trouble, guys. Definitely in trouble. This Prussian army also shifting this direction, so they are shifting the whole weight of their army over here. Bavaria and Spain are now going to have to rush over. Uh-oh, they're going to go for some skirms. Rips the Saxon skirmishers. They're definitely going to get trounced, but I don't think Rheinbund should have done it. That's
our men are running, sir.
Not worth the sacrifice. Oh, never mind. This is worth the sacrifice. This is a lot of skirmishers, but they are getting attacked. But you can see they're starting to whittle down these skirmishers really fast. They're just going to get caught in the crossfire. They're going to break, but they can possibly get the other skirmishers out of there. Rheinbund is going to lose their cav. Now, I don't know how much cav Rheinbund has, but now Saxony and Prussia are just advancing. They're swinging on the flank. France is scrambling. I think they... Okay, Saxony's going to be pushing right here, because you got this other army going way around. I don't know if they're trying to go for the 4-pointer. Either way, they need to be more aggressive and put pressure on this side of the the French line because they're only pushing on the flank right now. The Prussian army is getting very close. When all the army converges on one side of the battlefield and the other army is split up like this, Bavaria is coming. So is Spain, but man, it may be too late. France just has to keep falling back to their ally, though. But at the same time, LOC will be taken, and I think that France is probably going to fall back to their defensive hill. They have artillery set up on the hill. This artillery can help drive back the army, which is why you have to be very strategic with your artillery. Setting up in the front maybe isn't the best idea. And in this case, it isn't. They are setting up at the back. And they're going to start shooting out. Cav, you can see over here, if infantry starts engaging them, they can shoot at them as well. Looks like France is going to be forming up infantry line. Starting to already shoot at France. France is probably wishing they had more French elites. The Guard Imperial would be really nice in this situation. Saxony is going to start moving up as well. Rheinbund is scrambling. I don't know where the rest of their forces are, but Prussia is just going in. In fact, Prussia may be totally outflanking and probably stopping Spain from advancing here. So this strategy is working out very well for this Prussian coalition at this point in time. They are going to be able to hold France into a line battle. The only problem I foresee is this artillery. I'm interested to see how this is going to affect the line battle, because if you say it's not going to affect it, then that's a lie, because it definitely will. Blowing troops, knocking them off their feet is going to be a problem. It's going to start hurting. Oh, we got some cav for Saxony going against Rheinbund infantry that cannot form square. This is a problem for Rheinbund. I don't know where the bulk of their infantry is, but they're losing the LOC pretty easily here. We have Frederick first rushing up, trying to do a morale buff for his infantry. And there's a lot of cav for Prussia still. In fact, a whole Saxon army sitting here.
Our general is under attack.
Oh, there's just bullets that flew kind of close. But see, this infantry is getting shot to pieces by artillery. France falling back once again because they are getting outflanked. Hi, Prussia. Prussia pushing in, and here comes Spain at least. So France is not totally alone. They do have some Spanish. They have Fusiliers of the Guard, the Royal Guard, pushing up. Prussia just getting kind of close here, though. Artillery is going to be vulnerable. Hopefully they don't notice. Okay, so they take that. They probably figure they need that 4-pointer if they're going to win. And here's Bavaria, so hopefully this is going to pay off, because if not, they're just going to get surrounded. The problem is they have slow-moving armies. Prussia is pushing up here, forcing Spain back, forcing France to fall like even further. Saxony is going to go through the trees. That is going to take a while. They do have cav shifting way over here now. That could be crucial. They do see some hussars. Trees. Rheinbund has their cuirassiers over here, trying to rest them up here. Yeah. So Prussia has shifted in Saxony. Have shifted over troops to guard the artillery that is coming up. We're gonna force Saxony or Bavaria back. Prussia's still pushing. This artillery battery is probably their focal point at this point. They need to push up to there. And this flanking force from Saxony as well as Dragoons is going to force France to have to cave, rush out of the forest. All this infantry, guys, is pretty susceptible in the center. Choose squares. Shift your cav and then push just for the center. I think they could easily do it. Now, Prussia has to shift over a lot of troops to engage Spain. And this is going to be... They actually got a lot of infantry that can form square. So, oh, I hear some cav. Okay, so looks like we have cav rushing over, prepared to fight the Dragoons in the forest here. Ooh, this could be bad. They could hit them right as they're coming out of the forest, they're going to get a charge buff. And, yep, they're going to really hurt. The Prussian Dragoons, they're also getting a chance for France to form up and get out of there. Over here, Bavaria and Saxony are engaging, guys. I just worry. Saxony brought so much good heavy cav, and so did Prussia. They're just going to outnumber any forces. You can see Prussia's actually rushing over some cav. They're going to get the flank with some dragoons. They also did with their cuirassiers on the flank, so Bavaria is going to lose most of their cavalry. You watch out, Spain is moving up over there, but yeah, Bavaria is going to lose here. France did make a very solid push. They have a lot of their cav on the flank trying to defend, and they're going to start moving up towards the hill. They don't want to lose their advantage because they have a disadvantage here. They don't have the numbers. France is just there. I don't know where the rest of Rheinbund is. Maybe they're trying to go for a long play around the flank and are going to try to come in behind them. I don't know, but I don't see them. But at this point in time, Prussia is actually not doing the greatest against the Spanish horse. I thought it was Nicolas Cage for a second. Dyslexia totally saw that. I was like, oh wow, Nicolas Cage back in that day. No. Those of you who know, that's his famous actor. Anyway, Prussia is kind of slowed down a little bit. But now they're going to advance. They're probably just reforming, letting maybe Saxony get in behind them. Artillery shooting over the heads of these troops, but guys, if Prussia gets really close, they're going to have to move infantry out of the way in order to be able to shoot their artillery at this infantry. We do have Rheinbund and Saxony now clashing over here as well. Some more cuirassiers. Rheinbund should be playing more defensive. They don't have the cav. They don't have enough. The problem is Saxony just keeps flanking them. They gotta be defensive with their cavalry. Oh, it looks like actually some artillery is going to get charged. They're going to charge the Saxon cav. These hussars not as fast as these C8s. And they're going to lose some of their artillery. Thankfully, not the Prussian 12-pounders.
Our men are running,
They
sir.
will lose some Saxon artillery, but you know what? You're gonna stop those guys. So, oh, here we go, guys. We got some cav charging in from Prussia. Prussia trying to maybe stop and force these French or Spanish into a engagement here. They're hitting a lot of units that can't form square. Starting to really throw out this Spanish line here. Saxony also pushing for Rheinbund. Rheinbund's general gonna feel the hurt as Prussia is starting to get a lot closer. Starting to close in. The Saxon army right over here. France is in a bad place.
Our men are running, sir.
And now Bavaria could still turn the tide. They are rushing over as fast as possible. Bavaria may be the one who's gonna save the day. But Spain has definitely started to lose just because of the masses of cav going against them. They are actually falling back. They're going to fall back. France is going to be putting a lot of hurt. Just how much damage can they do to Prussia? That is the question. But Saxony is just issuing out of these trees so many troops here. They're bringing so much. I feel bad for France. France is just like, I am in danger. So Prussia was trying to maybe go for the artillery. They're going to get charged by Rheinbund. Rheinbund doing a good job of being defensive now. Prussia is actually having some problems now, as Bavaria could get here. Although they are, oh my goodness, I'd be licking my lips if I saw this Bavarian army advancing as Saxony and Prussia. I mean, they can't form square with the majority of their troops. They got one unit that can form square. So if you shift all your cav over, you can deal with that. But I mean, Saxony and Prussia have lost a lot of cav, and their cav are probably tired. Oh, we may have a push by Prussia and Saxony here. They're getting really close, trying to go for this corner where it's kind of not as many troops defending. This is just a this is what happens. You don't have good quality infantry, but if you have the numbers, like true numbers, it doesn't matter. I mean, you're gonna win. This artillery here from, I know, I was gonna say this Prussian artillery over here. They should be able to try pushing on this flank here. We do have some infantry, some chasseurs rushing out. They're probably going to try and attack the side, maybe. But here we go. We got some cav, maybe rushing up, some chasseurs cheval, going for some infantry, trying to slow them down. It's such a small amount, though. They're probably not going to rout them just because there's a general nearby, and the mass is not good for them. Saxony's now advancing. France is stretched too thin. If you look, there's 2 infantry here who are getting shot to pieces. Another one here that's getting shot to pieces.
Our men are running, sir.
Cavalry is getting just charged, and just this flank has just been an open sore. More cav for Prussia charging up, going maybe for Lanz. Lanz stopping them. He's very brave, and, you know, as his name says. Here is more of the Spanish moving up. Bavaria is closing in, guys. Oh, sound kind of just glitched out. The Bavarians are going to push a massive flank, guys. They could turn the tide, not over on this side, but on this side. Keep in mind, though, Saxon army hasn't really engaged yet. The cav from Saxony, these hussars rushing in, dealing with the Chevaliers. Infantry charging a square of French infantry, raking them, and they do have a good, strong defensive hill, but they are starting to lose that hill. Infantry going in on Saxon Grenadiers, so maybe Grenadier versus Chasseurs versus Grenadiers. More cav are rushing in now. This is getting dire. Look at this. These guys are actually a little concerned, losing slightly.
Our men are running,
calves, some Chevaliers going in for this whole line here. Oh my goodness, Spain is just hurting. Oh, a general died. Maybe, the Spanish general, Jean-Baptiste, has died. So Spain is just starting to really feel the pressure of this cav. Saxony going so close. They are actually charging this square here. And they're almost getting some friendly fire here. It's just a mass of just everyone's rushing the hill now. Prussia's rushing the hill. Saxony's rushing the hill. France is just like, hold as long as possible. There's this grove of trees there just holding by now. Sorry, I should zoom out a little bit. Bavaria is just pushing as much as possible. They're just pushing and pushing. And Prussia's actually starting to struggle against the infantry. They're actually pushing them out. Bavaria is pushing on this side, so Saxony's going to try shifting over here. They're basically doing their best to ignore Bavaria until they've dealt with Spain, or France, and Spain. And Spain is almost gone. France is gone. There's a couple units left here, but they're just going to get bayonet charged now.
We have killed their general, sir. Now they must break.
Whew. Alright, so they have dealt with France, they are dealing with Spain, and Bavaria is now going to be on their own, so it paid off. Spain does have some troops left, but unfortunately for them, it just wasn't fast enough. Bavaria wasn't able to move fast enough. They can still do a lot of damage though, guys, because Prussia is really hurt. But they do have a Saxon army that hasn't even fought yet. So we will see if Bavaria can carry the day, but they are on their own. But that is just, this video, for no other reason, is an excellent reason why you read the map, you have to scout. The The French lines didn't do as much scouting as they could have done. Then again, you know, if you don't have a cav advantage, it's kind of hard to scout, you know. So cav supremacy is key. Now here we go. Saxony's just gonna go in, start charging these line infantry that can't form square, and Bavaria's probably not gonna really get a chance to do much of a line battle. They're just gonna get slashed to pieces by cav. But the screen that, oh my goodness, yeah, this Spanish faction is also just going to get mass charged. They're going to go in for some bayonet charges here. It's just, man, there's so much melee happening here. But Spain is going to lose that battle. But screening, guys, screening your infantry attack. On this side, they move their cav up first. France didn't have a chance to run away. Because they didn't even know to run away. So using your cav to screen, push back their scouting cav until your infantry is very close. Very deadly. Here we go, more cav just rushing in, but poor Bavaria is just gonna feel the pressure of all four armies. And you can see they're starting to waver, they're shaking. And this battle's gonna end pretty soon here, actually. The Prussians and Saxon armies just outmaneuvered and took on the enemy piecemeal.
The men are fatigued, sir, and must rest a while.
And we do have the artillery finally shown up for Bavaria, their general. And more infantry kind of forming up. Bavaria brought a very decent army. But they are going to, like I said, they're just going to be outnumbered. And look at this infantry. There's 62 of them left. I'm surprised they're still holding. Looks like a mass charge from Bavaria. They're going in with a bayonet charge. Glory. Down the hill.
All hope is lost, sir. This battle is almost done.
And all that's left to deal with is Bavarian's artillery placement. So, I'm going to fast forward here. Looks like Spain may have had a last desperate stand by this 4-pointer. It's not going to matter if they have 1-pointers. It won't matter, which they do. So, oh man, Spain had so many guns. That's why they're holding over here. They want to use their guns. See, this is another good reason why Prussia would have lost if they had fought all of his armies at once. Prussia and Saxony versus Spain and France and Bavaria and Rhineland, they would have lost. Now, what I want to know is, was that all that Rhineland brought? Did they not bring a lot? Because I thought they had brought a lot more. Anyway, I'm going to fast forward here. As they're going to attack this LOC, I think. Alright guys, so Saxony is charging this last defensive position. You can see the Spanish are doing a last bold stand with their infantry here. Maybe not. Maybe they're gonna go for the house. I don't know. Maybe. Alright, well let's fast forward if they're gonna do that.
The men are fatigued, sir, and must rest a while.
Cav's gonna hit them while they're trying to get into the house. Or not. They're trying to force them to stay in the house, or outside of the house, so their infantry can get to them. Very smart. And now they're just standing there. Oh, they're going for the house themselves. Wait, what happens if you both go for the house? Shall we look and see? Oh, this guy got upstairs first. And just like that, they broke him. Of course, the cab in the back would have helped too, but was hoping to see them duke it out, maybe. Got some 12-pounder artillery now. We're gonna probably get just wrecked by some cav, and the battle will be over. I really thought Reinbund would have brought more infantry. I'm curious to see what their comp was. Because if Reinbund had brought more infantry, they could have held with France, and they probably could have held back the Prussian-Saxon tidal wave. But I'm just going to fast forward here. And I'm going to skip to the end, actually, because at this point, there's not a whole lot really to see. All right, so, okay, they brought 810 men. I saw like 4 or 5 infantry, so they did not bring a lot. Maybe they brought a lot more money-wise. Bavaria brought the most, and actually more than, well, now they brought the most, more than Sputler being the next person, but you could see the size difference in the armies, 17, 15, 26, and then 25, 26, 19, and 18. So, let's see. Dang. Redaw's really farming it up. No, I'm just kidding. I know it's captured a lot. They probably did also run down some people, but that's why Cav, guys, is so important. Brought the Prince Albert, the Chevaliers, Prince Clemens, Cressiers. I mean, see, some of his infantry didn't even get kills. That's how much their Cav did. Their infantry didn't even have to fight. Cav carried the infantry in this battle. So, well, that's about it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. I will try to do videos every other day at least. This week, we will see. I'm now sharing a room with my daughter, who is 4 months old. So if she's not sleeping here, then I can record. I'm building an addition, though, so that will be fixed eventually. But I appreciate all the support, guys. You guys being understanding when I can and can't post videos. Just in general. So, you guys have a great rest of your day. Stay safe, and I'll catch you all in another video.